So I'm watching a new show called Tulsa King. Sylvester Stallone. Have you seen it? Dude, it's fantastic. It is unbelievably good. He's like the good bad guy, like an old mob boss that served like 25 years in prison, came out at 75, and just starts ruling Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was great. It's really good. So give me some ideas for the cigar industry. Hey guys, welcome back again to the Zeal Cigar Review with our new view. Today we're playing Cigar Roulette, not Russian roulette, Cigar Roulette, all next on the Zeal Cigar Review. Well, today JB and I are going to play a little bit of cigar roulette with you. We have 5 different cigars. They're all nub sizes. They're not necessarily nubs, but they're actually in this black bag that JB's holding right now. So we're going to reach in there. We're going to pull out a cigar, and most of these cigars that are in here we've never had before. So we're going to blind taste test them and then just tell you what we think about the cigar as we smoke it.
Let me crack them all and break them first.
Spinning the chamber. Spinning the chamber. Oh, I got the La Perla Habana 50, what is that? 50 roses? Is that what it says? 50 años, 500 años. What are you smoking? Tell them what you're smoking.
So this one is the Man of War Legend, apparently.
Man of War.
I don't know anything about these. I'm guessing most of these are a lot of AJ.
That's AJ stuff. Okay. Yeah, 100% of this stuff's AJ stuff. So we're gonna tell you what we think about these cigars. We'll do a little research on it and come back to you. You know what we got to do in order to do that? We got to cut light in.
Smoke.
So about my La Perla 500 años. Let me tell you a little bit about it. First, it's an AJ cigar, AJ Fernandez, made at his factory. It's a dark Habano Ecuadorian wrapper, Sumatra Ecuadorian binder, and a blend of Cuban seeds fillers from Esteli, Condega, and Jalapa in Nicaragua. So I imagine the cigar is probably going to be a little stout. We're going to see how it goes. What about yours? Tell us a little about your cigar.
From what I could find out, it's mostly Nicaraguan, Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, but...
an AJ. It's an AJ cigar.
It's mostly AJ, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yep. Well, time to get in it. Let's light it. Let's do the dry draw real quick. Whoa.
Spicy?
Yeah. I really do enjoy smoking the nub size. That's probably one of my favorite sizes of cigars to smoke. Just because you get... I think you get like the full feeling of a Toro cigar in a shorter time smoking. I don't know. I don't know. I just like the feel of the bigger ring gauge. It's definitely medium to full bodied from the very beginning. The cellophane had some brown on it, so it's definitely got a little bit of age on there. And the finish of the cigar, it's very spicy wood, like very spicy, like peppery wood.
Okay.
Is the finish on this cigar. It's not light. It's not I would definitely say this is not first smoke approved. There is a little bit of a nose tingle as you're smoking it, and I would definitely say that this is a little bit of a powerhouse right now. I mean, I'd say it's definitely at a 7 or 8 as far as strength is concerned. Yeah, which is really interesting because I wouldn't have guessed that. But when you start hearing the ingredients from Nicaragua and the leaves and everything else like that, it does make sense it's a little stronger cigar.
Yeah, I would put this one at like a 5 or 6.
It's a little stronger for you too, huh?
Yeah, it's got a generous amount of spice.
Okay.
You can tell it's got that Nicaraguan Habano wrapper on it.
Okay.
Because it's got that unique kind of spiciness to it. Some nuttiness. There is some sweetness in there. But so far, the spice has been overwhelming.
You got to look for it, right?
Yeah.
You got to look for the sweetness. I think as I get into this, you're going to have a little bit of sweetness develop.
Almost a graham cracker.
Okay.
For me. But so spicy. There's so much spice right now, it's kind of hard to find it.
Yeah, pepper wood. I got pepper wood right here. It's a lot of pepper and some generous amounts of like dark, rich wood as well. I don't have any nuttiness or anything else like that. I did taste a mild sweetness on there that was coming out a little bit, but I imagine that as the pepper wanes as you get into the cigar, it's actually probably going to get a little more sweet. So we're going to hit the pause button. We'll come back and tell you how the thing's developing in just a second. So be right back. All right, guys, 1.5 update, meaning we're kind of halfway through the very first third of the cigar. I would definitely say that the spice has waned off a lot. I'd say the spice is probably at a 4 now versus being at a 7 or 8 before. Still a little bit tingly. Nice dark wood in there. I like that. The pepper's on there enough that you still recognize it's there, making it a little bit of a more of a medium cigar. Some sweetness on the retrohale, leaning more towards like a dark walnut sweetness, if you would. But that's what I have so far, and it does linger on the finish. The pepper does linger on the finish, so it's It's definitely good. And the burn, dude, the burn is solid on here. Nice solid burn, which is traditional for any, 4.5, 4x60 nub style cigars. So, what about yours?
I'm having a hard time picking up much outside of the spice. There is kind of like a graham cracker sweetness, a little bit of like a earthy, maybe a rich coffee maybe, or espresso. I'll be honest, so far the spice is a little bit overwhelming for looking for other things. If you like spice, like this kind of spice in a cigar, it's really good.
What kind of spice would you say? Is it like baker spice, or are you talking pepper, or are you talking like?
It's like a mix of both.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little bit of like a thick allspice tingle, but then also kind of like a little bit of like a hot.
I would definitely say this has similar notes to that. I mean, there is definitely peaks in your nasal cavity where you start feeling that's a little bit of pepper, but I like that. I like that there's a little bit there. I thought it was overwhelming at first, but it quickly waned. And, I'm really curious what the second third of the cigar is going to turn into. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with the second third of these cigars. All right, so we're playing cigar roulette here, and Aaron Rodgers evidently played roulette with his Achilles tendons last night. So did you see the injury?
It didn't look like much at first.
It just looked like he was strained a little bit. And when he got up and then he sat back down, that's why I knew something was wrong. So what do you think? I mean, it's some people are like, is it career ending, or is it just, you're out? But did you see the New York fans, dude? They were just devastated.
I mean, how could you not be? But
I know.
Here's the thing, though, right? Here's the blessing in disguise. You have now somebody like him for the rest of the year coaching a quarterback that did extremely well in that game.
Yeah, he did
pretty well last year, if I remember correctly.
At the end of the year, yeah. He did really well.
You have absolute machines at receiver.
Right.
Garrett Wilson.
Sauce Gardner at the defensive cornerback.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
The team's stacked. So,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
But to have somebody like that to learn from and to... I mean, you look at Jimmy Garoppolo, like, although he's not doing as well as he did originally, those first couple years after Tom Brady, the dude was good.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, when you have somebody like him, and I think, who was it? Drew Brees sat behind Phillip Rivers for years in San Diego before he went to New Orleans and hung out with Sean Payton.
100%.
So, I mean, it to me, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, probably. It didn't really seem like Aaron really wanted to play the last couple years. And it seemed like New York...
Not in Green Bay.
Right.
Not
it seemed like New York was a rejuvenation for him.
Yeah.
So I kind of hate to see somebody who felt rejuvenated in a career that maybe felt like it was on the downward spiral.
Did you watch Hard Knocks at all?
Oh,
I watched the whole thing.
It seemed like
it's beautiful.
Everybody kept saying it was like the Aaron Rodgers show.
It kind of was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's that big. I mean, 4-time MVP, Super Bowl winner. I mean, he's kind of that big. He's an all-star. He's an all-star. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. So I think that the question we have with Rodgers is, does he come back? Because we're talking somewhere between a year or 18 months.
His contract was only a year, right, with the Jets?
I think it's multiple years.
Is it multiple?
I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know, man. And Achilles is one of those injuries that unless you do a lot of the work, it's going to be hard to come back.
I know, and I wouldn't mind like just the idea of like doing the rehab to get back to normal.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting the rehab to get back to playing time. I mean, I think that's extraordinarily hard at over the age of 35, and he's almost 40. He's 39. He's almost 40. So I don't know what's going to happen with him, man. I was super like disappointed when I saw that for him. For New York Jet fans, I mean, I was super disappointed.
Definitely sucks for him, but I don't think Jets fans need to be too sad, because if the dude is as good as a quarterback as it seems that he is, he'll be even better teacher to the next guy.
Yeah, I hope he does that with Zach Wilson.
Well, whether or not he gets his own, you got to be able to get out of your own way and swallow your pride to be that teacher, right?
Yeah.
Whether he's that guy, I don't know.
He seems like a cool guy. So we want to hear your input on this as well. What do you think? If you're an NFL fan, drop your comments about Aaron Rodgers and the injury. And let me go with this real quick and do some predictions for this year as well. Who else do you think is going to have like a painful year this year?
Painful?
A painful year. I mean, do you think anybody else is going to, as quarterbacks, are going to have a painful year, like a coming about this year? I mean, obviously, we're both Cleveland and Cincinnati, your team won, my team lost. Joe Burrow looked awful. He didn't play at all in the preseason.
I mean,
but I
look,
mean,
those were terrible weather conditions.
right, awful.
Cleveland wants that. Mm-hmm. They want you to be as uncomfortable as possible.
The dog pound, bro.
Because
dog
they're
pound.
going to play sloppy anyway. So
Yeah.
if you play sloppy, then they get a little bit of a chance. Mm-hmm. So that's just Cleveland's game style. They want you to be slopped up and.
They walked all
acting
over
goofy.
the Bengals, man. They walked all over the Bengals. Yeah.
I don't know if they
and
walked
Burrow had a horrible game.
I wouldn't say they walked all over them, but I would say that while I was on the mic
Score
with
says
all my
otherwise.
boys on Saturday morning or Sunday morning before the game started, and we were all gaming, and they were making them picks, I told them New Orleans is going to win, Cleveland's going to win. And they told me I was crazy.
I would have thought you're crazy too, but I don't know. I wonder if Joe Burrow, he just signed that big contract.
And I said Miami
the most
was gonna
expensive
win.
player in the NFL
Dude.
now. Okay. 270-something million. So I
He's
mean,
up there.
all this said, I mean, I don't know if Joe Burrow has a great year. I hope he does. I'm a big Bengals fan, so I hope he does. But it just seems like after you sign those contracts, man, guys get hurt or something happens. So I'm not wishing anyone any pain in the season whatsoever. But I mean, what do you think, dude? There's all this speculation of Tom Brady coming back now because these quarterbacks getting hurt and people aren't doing so well. And dude, Tom comes back. Yeah, dude, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? That's like 49. He's my age. I think he's like 45, 46, like that. Popular.
All right, well, how's your cigar? Because mine got a lot better in the middle.
Let's get into the cigar again. Dude, that ash, bro. It's leaning a little bit to the left, but I'm saying it's a good cigar. It really is a good cigar. It's got more nutty and woody notes to it, with a slight. Like a slight bready sweetness, almost like a toasted sweetness.
Okay.
That's kind of on there, which I really do enjoy. I'm not going to fault it for that. I wish there was more. I really do. I wish there was like a real prominent note. It's kind of notes all blend together here in the middle. But altogether, very smokable. Nice pull, nice draw, everything else like that. Great construction. The ash is hanging on great. I think it's a very good cigar. It really is. What about you?
The spice is starting to wean off a little bit. Getting a little bit sweeter, still kind of on the earthier, like leafy, woody side. Mm-hmm. Little bit of espresso, medium to full for sure. But I would agree. I would agree with what you said as far as I would like to have had more from this. It seems outside of the spice, it seems pretty consistent. Mm-hmm. Although it is at the moment getting better.
Okay. We're going to hit the pause button. We'll come back and tell you about the final third here, because we just told you about the second third, basically, in just a second. So stay tuned.
This did open up to being much more medium. Mm-hmm. Little bit more flavor, some cedar. Kind of opened up to being a little bit Cuban-esque with a little bit more spice to it.
Okay.
So there are, it took the here to get to that for me. Mm-hmm. But there are some very unique kind of Cuban-esque notes to this. I could see what they were kind of going for, but you could tell it's Nicaraguan grown tobacco.
Yeah,
100% you can tell it's Nicaraguan.
I would say very similar to this. It's more of a stronger cigar. It has definitely a spice and a kick to it. That Cuban seed I think does come through with some of the, I'd say mild but stronger grass and hay notes, like a spicy grass, spicy hay. I will say that to me it comes along. To me, it produces strong, sweet walnut notes. Also produces a nice dark wood spice there. And the pepper is still here, just not nearly as it was in the very first third of the cigar. I'd say it's probably at a 4, maybe a 5 versus like a 7 or 8 at the very beginning. So,
now
very
I'm
good cigar.
Now I'm getting that wood. Now I'm getting that like creamy cedar woodiness out of it, which is where I'm kind of equating that Cuban-esque flavor to.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: we're not gonna give it a value score because the value on these things vary greatly across the board.
Yeah,
they really do.
They do.
And this is kind of a unique size for these cigars. Roughly they're probably about $10 wherever you get them, anywhere from $7 to $10. And let me ask you this: smokability. How's the smokability on that?
That's a really good question. For me personally, this one that I'm smoking. Partially my fault because I cracked it. So
you did crack it, yeah.
I'm not gonna dock it too much for that. Very smokable, man. For me, it's good 7.
Good 7. The smokability on this one, particularly for a nub, a 4.5 by 60, I'm going to say the smokability score is probably like an 8.5.
Okay.
It's a very good smokable cigar. I really enjoy it. The pull is perfect. The draw is perfect. Everything on it just seems, perfect from the construction. The ash is long. It holds up. It's got a nice mouth feel. It's a really, really good cigar overall. So my overall score on that would be like 8.5. I would say it gets sweeter towards the end. There is a generous amount of sweetness on here. It's more like a sweet nuttiness. It is very, very good. But we want to hear, have you had these cigars before? Have you had the Man of War? That's the Legend? Is that what it's called?
The Legend.
Yeah, Man of War Legend. And have you had the La Perla 500 Años 1515? Have you had the Perla 500 Años 1515? I'm really looking forward to seeing who's had that. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think about these cigars. And for the Zeal Cigar Review, I've been Bradley, this has been JB, and we're out of here like last year. Peace.